Hi, it's Ian. Welcome to pensionerfitness.com. Now, many times in the past, we've spoken about the reasons a lot of people fall, because they're not very strong, their muscles are weak, and therefore the muscles don't support the joints the way they should. And of course, obviously, as they get weaker through sarcopenia, they can have falls and they can have accidents. But over and above that, anyone, anywhere can have an accident. Now, I want to tell you about an accident I just recently had. And it was not Thursday just gone, the Thursday before it, the 23rd of October, I had an accident. I came out of bright sunlight into the building I live in, and there's been a problem in the building, and workmen had dug a trench on the ground floor. So when I walked in and I got to where the trench was, I was trying to navigate my way around it when my foot slipped and I fell. Now, when I started going down, I put my hands out like this, hoping that they were going to hit the ground and I was going to stop my head or my face smashing off the ground. But unfortunately, this hand met the ground, this one met the hole in the trench, which allowed my body to spin, and I landed 6 foot down in the bottom of the trench on my back. Not only that, the end of the trench forced my head forward onto my chin, and I was completely unconscious. I was knocked out completely. So I'm lying in the bottom of this trench, and the workmen that were there, when my wife was very upset, the workmen run to help. They put a ladder down and they came down and started pouring water on my face and on my head to try and bring me back to consciousness. They managed to do that, and then they helped, with their help, they got me up the ladder and out of the trench. And then I was helped up the stairs to my house, or to my flat. Once I got into the flat, took my clothes off, which were all wet, and I was going dizzy. I had a proper concussion, and I was suffering a little bit, and I was in a lot of pain everywhere. Anyway, I managed to get my clothes and stuff off, and I just climbed into bed, and I lay there. And then I suddenly realized I can't go to sleep because I've just had concussion. So I had to keep myself awake. And I did that for a number of hours. And eventually, later on in the evening, I fell asleep. I couldn't hold it back any longer. Luckily, I woke up in the morning and I was still very, very sore all over. And my wife ran me lots of hot baths. And every day I soaked for the best part of an hour, getting because the hot water takes a lot of the soreness away, and it helped me a great deal. And as the days passed, the dizziness that I was getting, the little dizzy periods, were gradually getting less and less, which are common after concussion. And eventually I realised, that I was getting better and I was okay. And now I'm back to normal, and it's only been a week and a few days. But what I want you to understand is this. When I say to you it's important to build strength, it really is, because I work on my strength all the time, and I build strength. And when you build strength using isometrics, which we've been doing, it helps build stamina as well as strength. And what that does is it gives you the ability to heal. So when your body gets hurt, and anyone can fall, you can trip on the carpet, you can trip on the stairs, you could step off a curb, and hit something on that's there, and your foot slides off it, down you go. Those injuries, a lot of older people don't survive injuries like that because they aren't strong enough. They don't have the ability for their body to heal them because they're weak. Which is why I'm telling you this today. I wasn't going to tell you about this little accident, but I'm telling you about it today because I want you to understand that by building strength and stamina, by doing exercises and keeping your body fit, if you do get an injury, it won't ruin your life. You can recover from it, like I have. So I want you to bear that in mind. Keep it very, very close to your mind. Being fit and strong, building your strength, helps you. If you have an accident, you will recover, not end up going away forever. So I want you to know that from me. Here I am, I'm back in one piece. You could do do the same if you're fit. Thank you very much.